So yesterday, we talked about complete dominance. Today, we start incomplete dominance, okay? So some alleles are neither dominant nor recessive, like we talked about yesterday in complete dominance. They are either dominant or recessive, okay? Many traits are controlled by multiple alleles or multiple genes. So what we are going to talk about today looks a lot like this. So if we were to take a red flower and cross it with a white flower, we wouldn't get red or white, we would get pink flowers, okay? This is also going to roll into tomorrow with what is known as co-dominance, which is going to look a lot like what we do today, Punnett square-wise. The big difference is going to be what we see. So in incomplete dominance, we see a pink flower. But in co-dominance, we don't see a pink cow that produces strawberry milk. Y'all got me? That sounds great, doesn't it? So in co-dominance, we see a white cow and a red cow, and they make what is known as a roan cow, which is a red and white cow. So you see both colors. In incomplete dominance, you see a mixture or blend of the colors. Everybody following me? So this is what we talked about yesterday. So if we had red flowers and white flowers, we would get red flowers or white flowers. Today, we're going to talk about incomplete dominance, where we can have red, white, or pink, okay? And then tomorrow, when we get into co-dominance, we're going to see maybe a red fish and a blue fish, but they make a red and blue fish, not a purple fish. Everybody with? Okay, and then tomorrow, we're also going to see multiple alleles with blood typing, and then next week, we'll get into sex-linked traits, okay? So, incomplete dominance is a pattern of inheritance in which neither allele is completely dominant over the other. So the heterozygous, these terms aren't going away, phenotype is somewhere in between the two homozygous phenotypes, okay? So when we learn incomplete dominance, we're going to use two different letters, but we're talking about dominance. So what kind of letters are they still going to be? Capital, because it's dominant, okay? So up here, these words aren't going away either. Vocab, vocab, vocab. Genotype, phenotype. So genotype, we represent using what? The letters, the alleles, and phenotype, what we see, okay? So in this case, we're going to use capital R for red and capital W for white. So what's the genotype of the red flower going to be? Capital R, that's it. What about the white flower? Capital W, beautiful. And then what about the pink? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, no P's. We're not introducing any new letters. It's a combination of what we already have. Okay, so RR, WW, RW. Okay, so now phenotype, it's what you actually see. So RR is RW, pink, and WW, white. Perfect. Everybody with me so far? All right. So the best way to remember this is that in incomplete dominance, there are always three phenotypes, okay? One being in the middle of the other two. So in complete dominance, which we talked about yesterday, there's only two phenotypes. brown, blue, green, yellow, tall, short, hitchhiker's thumb, no hitchhiker's thumb. In incomplete dominance, there are 3: red, white, pink, black, white, gray. Always 3. Red, blue, purple. All right, so similar to what we saw yesterday, but now we're incomplete. So B, big B is black, big W is white. It tells us that coat color in mice exhibits incomplete dominance. So big B would be what color? Black. WW, white. And BW, because it's what's in the middle, the mixture, okay? Next, we got R for red, W for white, which we just talked about. Flowers exhibit incomplete dominance for petal color. RR would be red, WW, white, and RW, pink. Perfect. All right, next we got T for tall, S for short. Human height follows a pattern of incomplete dominance, so TT would be tall, SS, and TS. I like it. Average or medium? I would take average because it's whatever's in the middle, okay? All right, so scale color in fish is controlled by 2 incompletely dominant alleles. The homozygotes mean what? The same. They are blue and yellow. So I want you to tell me what the genotypes are for blue, yellow, and green. So blue would be big B, yellow, big Y, and green. Big B and a big Y. Okay. Now, listen, it's okay. But don't get confused with that. Do not pull in a 3rd letter. Okay? It's just 2. And whatever comes in the middle is the combo of the 2. Okay, do not pull in a 3rd letter. All right. Wing color in birds is controlled by 2 incompletely dominant alleles. The homozygotes, which means the same, are blue and red. So what are the genotypes for blue, red, and purple? Blue. Yep. Big B, red. Big R, and purple. Big B, big R. Perfect. That's it. All right, let's see if we get this one. Tooth number in Zorgs is controlled by 2 incompletely dominant alleles. The homozygotes have 2 and 4 teeth. Homo, same. What are the possible genotypes of Zorgs? So if they have 2 teeth, what are we going to put? Huh? Yeah. 2 big what? Bees? All right, so 2 big bees. Perfect. I will take it. 4 teeth would be? You said A's? So 2 big A's. So that would probably be 3 teeth. And what would we put there? Big A and a big B.
In the middle. Oh, it's in the middle.
That's what's in the middle. Okay. Nicely done, y'all. I like it. All right. So now let's go through the steps like we did yesterday, and we're going to solve a Punnett square. So coat color in mice is incompletely dominant. So we know we're going to have how many phenotypes possibly? How many possible phenotypes can we see in incomplete dominance? 3. Okay. We say that yellow and white colored mice are homozygous, meaning the same, while cream colored mice are heterozygous. So if 2 cream colored mice mate, what phenotypic ratio can we expect of their offspring? So the first thing we needed to do was read the problem, which we did. Now we have to underline the known alleles and identify the type of inheritance as an incomplete dominance, which we did when we read the problem. So what do we know about the alleles?
Yellow, white.
Okay, yellow and white are homozygous and cream are heterozygous. That's what we know, okay? Next, we have to pick a letter to represent each allele in the problem. So let's pick a letter for yellow. We're not there yet. We just have to pick alleles like this, okay? So what are we gonna put for yellow? A capital Y, and then for white, we're gonna use a capital W. Okay, so there's our yellow and our white. Everybody following me? So we're starting at the very beginning. Next, we have to circle and or write down the genotypes of the parents. So what do we know about the parents? Okay, they're heterozygous because they are what color? Cream. So how do we represent cream for the parents? Big Y, big W, and the other parent is big Y, big W, because they're both heterozygous, which is cream. Okay, so there's our parents down there. Now, we have to set up and solve the Punnett square. So what are we gonna put up top? Y and a W. Okay, a Y and a W. And then we fill in the Punnett square. So what's gonna go in the first box? Perfect. Okay, so YW, YW, WW. Now, just for future, when you go down and over, always just put the same letter in front. So you would not want to do YW, WY. Technically, it is not wrong because it's still going to give you the same answer, but it might confuse you because you're seeing them reversed. Does that make sense? So keep things consistent. Next, we have to highlight and answer what the question is asking. So what's the question asked? Phenotypic ratio of the offspring. So phenotype is talking about what we see. So what color is this going to be?
Yellow. Green. Yellow. White.
So yellow, cream, white. So what's my ratio going to be? 1 to 1. Perfect. Okay. 1 yellow to 2 cream to 1 white. Everybody follow? So this is just like we did yesterday. 1 out of 4, 25%. 1 out of 4, 25, and 2 out of 4, which is 50. Okay. Now we're going to run through this. What type of inheritance? You're going to either tell me if it's complete, like we talked about yesterday, or incomplete, like we talked about today. Tall pea plants are crossed with short pea plants. All the offspring are tall. Complete. Because it's either what? Having 10 fingers is dominant to having 12. A woman with 12 fingers has a child with a normal man, and all their children have 10 fingers. Okay. A blue butterfly mates with a yellow butterfly. All their children are green. Incomplete because we got a what? A mixture. Perfect. You have a black horse and a white horse on your farm. They have babies and they're all gray. Incomplete. Same switched. You have a black horse and a white horse on your farm. They have babies and they're all black.
Complete.
Complete dominance because it's either
White and black.
black or